Whenever if a person is having Rh antigen, they are called as Rh positive, and whoever does not have Rh antigen, so before the first child is born, the mother's blood would not have developed antibodies against Rh, then definitely the mother's blood will not develop antibodies against Rh antigen, so even the second child will be born safe. The blood is in the blood vessels, it maintains its liquid state. If it is drawn out of the blood vessel, it thickens. Hello everyone, welcome back to session 4 of this interesting chapter called Body Fluids and Circulation. Hope you remember in the last session we were discussing about a very important concept, that is about ABO blood grouping, and also we were discussing about Rh factor. All of us know that just knowing the blood groups like whether we are A, B, AB and O is not sufficient. And we also should know about the compatibility and incompatibility of the respective blood groups. When we go for a blood transfusion, that is at times when needed during emergency, when a person is in need of blood, at that point of time, understanding the blood group during the process of blood transfusion is very important. We are donating the blood or we are going for a blood transfusion to save a person and not to kill a person. So in that particular concept, we should understand what is this ABO blood grouping, and not only that, whether the person is positive or negative is also very important point to be noted. Now let us understand what already we have studied in the last session, that what is Rh factor. Rh factor is a factor that was first discovered in a monkey called Rhesus macaca, hence the name Rh factor. And understanding the Rh factor is also a very important point at the time of blood transfusion. Now let us understand what is this Rh factor. As we already studied in the last session that there is one more antigen found on the surface of RBC membrane called as antigen D, and also in a similar way there is one more antibody in the plasma called antibody D, and it is this interaction of antigen and antibody which is responsible for the positive and negative. Whenever if a person is having Rh antigen, they are called as Rh positive, and whoever does not have Rh antigen, they are referred to as Rh negative. Now moving on to the role of Rh factor. So particularly we should understand the role of Rh particularly during the time of pregnancy. So what is Rh factor? Why is it so important, particularly at the time of pregnancy? I think there is one very serious, for example, if a Rh positive man marries a Rh negative woman, then there is a very serious problem caused to the second baby that is born, and with a serious disease called erythroblastosis fetalis. It is called erythroblastosis fetalis. So what is the role of Rh factor in pregnancy? A serious problem arises when an Rh negative woman marries an Rh positive man. So Rh negative woman marries an Rh positive man. So when the woman becomes pregnant, the developing embryo will have Rh positive antigen in their blood, which is got from the father. So from the fetus will receive the Rh antigen from the father. As you know, father is Rh positive. Rh positive means presence of Rh antigen. Negative means absence of Rh antigen. So the antigens from the embryo's blood may enter into the mother's blood through the placenta during the first childbirth. So the very problem will be with the second child. For example, when a woman plans for her second child, and if she is negative and she has married a positive man, then the problem arises. So here you should be very, very, so the first child is born safe. By the time the second child is born, already the mother's blood would have developed antibodies against Rh antigen, thereby leading to a very serious problem called erythroblastosis fetalis. The very word itself will tell you. Erythro means what? RBC. Blastosis means what? Breaking. Fetalis means fetus, that is the developing fetus. So erythroblastosis fetalis means what? That is the breaking of the RBC cells is called as it is called as erythroblastosis fetalis. So what is the role of, so the antigens from the embryo may enter into the mother's blood through the placenta during the first child. So these antigens induce the production of antibodies against the Rh antigen in the mother's blood, and these antibodies remain in the body of mother for longer duration. So I'll repeat, what is this Rh factor? Role of Rh factor in pregnancy. For example, if an Rh negative woman marries an Rh positive man, the fetus, the developing, and when they plan for a first child, the fetal blood will contain Rh antigen, which is received from the Rh positive father. And the Rh antigen blood will pass through the mother's blood through the placenta during the first childbirth. So before the first child is born, the mother's blood would not have developed antibodies against Rh. So the baby is born safe. But the problem arises when she plans for a second baby. So what will happen when she plans for a second baby? Already the mother's blood would have developed antibodies, which is remaining for a longer duration. And when she plans for a second child, the fetal blood will also have again Rh positive, which is from father. Then definitely there is clotting or clumping of what we call it as, leading to a disease called erythroblastosis fetalis, right? So a serious problem arises when a Rh negative woman marries a Rh positive man. So when the woman becomes pregnant, the developing embryo will have Rh positive antigens in their blood. So the antigens from the embryo blood may enter to the mother's blood through the placenta during first childbirth. So these antigens induce the production of antibodies against Rh antigen in the mother's blood, and these antibodies remain in the body of mother for a longer duration. So here you can see mother's Rh type. So father is Rh positive and mother is Rh negative. So here you can see how the Rh factor is going to be responsible. Then in case the woman becomes pregnant for a second child, as I said, the first child is born safe. The first child is born safe, but the problem arises with the second child. So when she plans for a second child, then the problem arises. But now with the science and technology, and particularly in the field of medicine, there is an injection given called RhoGAM injection, where injection within 72 hours of the first childbirth, so that the mother's blood will not develop antibodies against the Rh antigen. So in case the woman becomes pregnant for the second child, the antibodies present in her body enters into the embryo's blood and leads to the destruction of RBC. So hence it will lead to what? Erythroblastosis fetalis, or it is also called as what? Destruction of RBCs. Destruction of RBCs. So in case the woman becomes pregnant for a second child, the antibodies present in her body enters into the embryo's blood and leads to the destruction of RBC. Why for the second child? Why not for the first child? Because by the time the first child is delivered, the mother's blood would not have developed that much of antibodies. But when she plans for her second child, already her blood would have developed antibodies against Rh antigen, and when she plans for a second child, the fetal blood will also contain Rh antigen. So there is Rh antigen and antibody reaction leading to clumping or destruction of RBC cells, leading to a very serious disease in the fetus. So the baby that is born will be stillborn. So that the baby dies within the mother's womb, if at all, if this serious problem is there. So which results in the abortion, or what we call it as stillbirth. Stillbirth means the baby dies, the fetus dies within the mother's womb. So this condition is called erythroblastosis fetalis, or it is also called hemolytic disease in HDN. Hemo means what? Blood. Lytic means breaking of RBC cells, or it is called erythroblastosis fetalis. So in order to prevent the formation of antibodies, so now as I said, but the only thing is the mother should know that, that is the reason, as I said, that each one of us should know our blood group, whether not only blood group, whether we are positive or negative. As I said, and many people will hide, they will not come out with their negativity. But as I said, they should be more open, they should give more clarity about their disorders. If at all they have, like Rh negative is very rare. So they have to tell a doctor that whether they are negative, and so that proper medications can be given, so that even they can avoid the death of the second baby also. So in order to prevent the formation of antibodies in the mother's body, she has to take an injection called RhoGAM. Rho means Rho gamma. It is called Rho gamma. It is called Rh gamma globulin injection within 72 hours of the first childbirth. So if this injection called RhoGAM is given, then definitely the mother's blood will not develop antibodies against Rh antigen. So even the second child will be born safe. So that is the reason why the role of Rh factor during pregnancy is very, very important. So in case the woman becomes pregnant, so as I said, the first child will be born safe, because before the baby is delivered, before the mother develops antibodies, the baby is delivered. So the first child will be born safe. But when she plans for a second child, already the mother's blood would have developed Rh antibodies against Rh antigen, which lead to the destruction of RBCs, leading to erythroblastosis fetalis, or which is also called as hemolytic disease, and which results in what? Abortion, or still termination. Abortion means termination of the fetus or stillbirth. So in order to prevent this, before the formation of antibodies, that is immediately after the first childbirth, within 72 hours, RhoGAM injection is given, so that Rho gamma globulin injection, that medicine will prevent the development of Rh antibodies against Rh antigens. So here you can see the picture here. First pregnancy is safe. So the baby is delivered safely. So Rh specific cell. So there are memory cells which is going to. So when she plans for a second baby, already the memory cell will be there. Memory cell will remember. So it will recognize the antigens. So immediately it will start developing antibodies. Already that is developed, and you can see and attacks the fetal RBCs, causing erythroblastosis fetalis. But if you go for RhoGAM injection, mother treated with RhoGAM, so it will prevent B cell activation and memory cell. So then the baby will be born safe. So that is about the role of Rh factor during pregnancy. Then moving on to the next very important concept of this chapter, called coagulation of blood, or it is otherwise called blood clotting. All of us know, like in our everyday life, we come across wounds or cuts or injuries. So obviously there is using of blood or a flow of blood. So what will happen if the blood will not clot? If it doesn't stop oozing, obviously the person will die or may collapse. So in that case, there is a very important mechanism happening inside our blood, that is called blood clotting. So there is one clotting factor present in the blood. Already it is platelets, which brings about the process of clotting. So immediately when the blood comes in contact with the atmospheric oxygen, there is a fiber, like what we call it as fibrin, in that particular region of the wound, and which will stop the oozing of blood. Now let us understand what is this coagulation of blood or blood clotting. So here you can see injury or damage, the clotting factors are activated, vessel contracts, so platelet plug is formed, so fibrin clot is formed. So immediately it will stop. So injury to the blood vessel leads to the loss of blood called hemorrhage. So imagine if there is continuous oozing of blood, so the loss of blood in the body may lead to a very serious or what we can call it as the person may die. So there is an intrinsic, so immediately see how the mechanism, all this happens on its own. That is what we call it as homeostasis, internal mechanism. So there is an internal environment which maintains all this. So automatically when we fall or when we have a cut or an injury, blood oozes out, and after some time it immediately clots. Right. So see how this mechanism comes into picture immediately at that point of time. So there is an intrinsic mechanism to stop hemorrhage. What is hemorrhage? Injury to the blood vessel leads to loss of blood. For example, injury or a cut to the blood vessel, obviously the blood will be oozing out. So injury to the blood vessel leads to the loss of blood called hemorrhage. So there is an intrinsic mechanism to stop hemorrhage and is called homeostasis or hemostasis, or it is otherwise called coagulation of blood or blood clotting. Now, what is that blood clotting? Here you can see the same picture. So, blood maintains its liquid state as long as it remains in the blood vessels. So, as long as the blood is in the blood vessels, it maintains its liquid state. If it is drawn out of the blood vessel, it thickens and eventually forms a gel called blood clot or thrombus, or it is called thrombus. So the clot consists of a network of insoluble protein fibers in which the cellular components of blood are trapped, and the process of clotting of blood is called coagulation. So blood maintains its liquid state as long as it remains in the blood vessel. Suppose when the blood comes out of the blood vessel, so it is going to form eventually is going to form a clot, or what we call it as thrombus. So the clot, what is clot then? What is blood clot then? Here you can see the fibrin clot, or here we can see the fibrin clot. What is blood clot? The clot consists of what? Network of insoluble protein fibers in which the cellular components of blood are trapped. So the process of clotting of blood is called coagulation. It is called as what? Coagulation. The blood clotting is a dominant homeostatic defense. See, this is, as I said, everything happens, as we know, many of our physiological processes are involuntary. So without our knowledge, the things happen inside our body. So one such is blood clotting mechanism. So this is a very, very important homeostatic mechanism that is going to happen in our daily life. For example, you come across a cut or a wound or an injury, so there is continuous oozing of blood, and immediately there is a process of formation of blood clot. So the blood clotting is a dominant homeostatic defense. What do you mean by homeostatic defense? As you know, what will happen if there is continuous oozing of blood? The person will die or collapse. So that is the reason why this mechanism is happening automatically. Clot is formed due to conversion of plasma protein called fibrinogen into an insoluble fibrin threads. So clot formation is a vital mechanism that prevents excessive loss of blood called hemorrhage. So clotting involves various chemicals known as coagulation factors. So it consists of vitamin K, calcium ions, chemical factors like factor 7, 9 and 10, etc. So the blood clotting is a dominant homeostatic defense. Clot is formed due to conversion of plasma protein called fibrinogen into an insoluble fibrin threads, and clot formation is a vital mechanism that prevents excessive loss of blood hemorrhage. Clotting involves various chemicals known as coagulation factor, and it consists of vitamin K, calcium ions, chemical factors. I think all of you might have come across a disease called hemophilia, which is also called as bleeder's disease. Bleeder's disease. Why it is called as bleeder's disease? Because there is continuous oozing of blood, and hemophilia is also called as a royal disease. Why it is called royal disease? Because it was first found in the royal family of Queen Victoria, hence it is called as royal disease. So in this hemophilic person, there is absence of clotting factor 7 and 9, and that is the reason why there is no clotting of blood. And if at all a person, and if a person is hemophilic, he or she will have a cut or an injury or has to undergo surgery, then there is continuous oozing of blood. But now, as I said, now particularly in science and technology, particularly in the field of medicine, there is proper treatment given to such hemophilic patients. So the blood clotting is a dominant homeostatic defense. Clot is formed due to conversion of plasma protein called fibrinogen into an insoluble fibrin thread. Clot formation is a vital mechanism that prevents excessive loss of blood. Excessive loss of blood called what? Hemorrhage. Clotting involves various chemicals known as coagulation factors. What are all the coagulation factors? Like vitamin K, calcium ions, then chemical factors like factor 7, factor 8, factor 10, etc. All these are the very important factors. So hope you have understood about this very important concept about Rh factor. What is the role of Rh factor during the process of pregnancy, and how will the second child will be affected if an Rh negative woman marries an Rh positive man, and how it can be prevented. Also, we have learned that, as I said, particularly in the field of medicine, there is treatment for many disorders. One such is for this Rh factor to prevent erythroblastosis fetalis in the fetus. So, and also we have studied about a very important mechanism called clotting, blood clotting or coagulation, which is very important for the blood to clot. As you know, if there is continuous oozing of blood, the person may die or collapse. Hope you have understood all the concepts what I have explained in today's session. So I'll be back with some more interesting concepts in the coming session. Till then, goodbye and thank you.